Thank you for staying tuned to Sunrise at Sea right here on CTV, and it's time for our views segment, possibly your most favorite segment of this show. My name is Apollo Sarah, and I'm joined by my colleagues Shivan Auma and Sandra Cope. And remember, we are also streaming live on our Facebook page, and that's on CTV Uganda on Facebook, yes? And if you want to be a part of our conversations that we have here on Our Views, we have conversations that affect our everyday life. You can be a part of this and you can leave your comment. Don't forget to use the hashtag CTV Sunrise. So for today's conversation, I'm very excited. My hands are itching. Yeah, I can't wait for us to get into it. So ever since the introduction of affirmative action in the early 19s, where women were allowed to start gaining an education, you know, go to work, this has led a number of nations, societies, and cultures to allow women, empower women to become more than just, you know, wives and mothers, you know, just be more than just nurturers. And this has led a number of women to become very successful business owners, entrepreneurs. Women are now winning in the corporate world. We have women in the, you know, in the list of the most richest people in the world. We have female presidents. Women are running armies and countries now. However, this may be a detriment to them finding love or romance, because people are now blaming it on feminism. Yeah, they're saying, oh, since now you're empowered, you're now big-headed, you don't need a man. And now we hear things like, oh, men are trash, I don't need a man, I don't need money, you know, I can take care of this by myself. So we asked the question on our social media handles, yes, why are successful women or strong and independent women finding it hard to find love? Why is it harder for strong and independent women to find love? We posted this. We posted this on our social media. And why I posted this is because something caught my attention on the internet. And this was a gentleman who posted this on his Twitter account. And he said, everyone wants a strong woman until she actually stands up, flexes her muscle, and projects her voice. Suddenly, she's too much and has forgotten her place. You love those women as ideas, fantasies, not as living, breathing humans threatening to be better than you can ever be. Shivan, talk to me.
First of all, it is not us who are struggling to find love. I do not think, I actually know, it is just the men who are having a hard time keeping up with us.
And why is that?
If you cannot handle the heat, stay out of the kitchen. Why is that? It's because they feel intimidated. I don't see anything wrong with being a strong, hardworking, ambitious woman. Why should you as a man be intimidated by that? If you're intimidated by that, probably there are some underlying issues. You probably have issues with self-esteem. Why should I be the one threatening you? For heaven's sake, all I am doing is trying to no, I'm not sitting around waiting for your money. So for one to even suggest that it is us that are looking for love, and probably for the men, they feel that they're intimidated, and many reasons why the women are not getting married is because we have flourished in future. My friend, you know, this world is very beautiful. It has different classes. There are different classes of women. If you cannot handle me, the independent, strong, ambitious woman, please look elsewhere. There are very many on the world and the globe all over. There are very many that could probably fit in your criteria, but don't take it out on us, because somehow we are now raising our voices and we are standing up for our rights, because I am not planning to get down from that. I am not planning to do so. And I'm not going to become less of a woman because a man somehow feels intimidated by me. No.
Shivan came to, you know, project her voice. You're going to hear her roar. But there's a gentleman, I think, who kind of describes with you, or rather a lady, and this comment was under that tweet that I read for you. Later, I will share the tweets from our, you know, viewers. But this lady said something interesting, and that's why I want to share it. She says, and she's called Jennifer Israel, and she says, strength is displayed in many ways. He described a very masculine strength. And I don't think that's what any man wants in a woman. Deep down, I don't think any woman is happy existing in that space either. And those that do just haven't learned how to operate in a more feminine strength. Our strengths should complement each other, not compete with each other. We cannot do that until women and men both recognize that there's more than just masculine strength and learn to appreciate true feminine strength.
Why is being a feminist, or why is being a lady associated to being weak? Let's first tackle that.
No,
I just don't understand.
She did
it.
not say weak. She said feminine energy. I mean, let's look at some of the women in history that have caused empires to collapse, and they did that with just by being a woman.
Helen of Troy.
Thank you. That lady who cut off the man's hair.
Delilah.
Eh?
Then there's one who is actually upcoming. She's called Shivana Uma. Have you heard of her?
So basically what this lady's response was saying is that there can't be two masculine, energies in a relationship. And most women that are successful have risen to that place by not applying their feminine energy a lot more. Because you're playing in a field with men, you have to put on your big boy pants and your boots and rise to the occasion. Be as assertive, be as aggressive, be as loud, be as, cutthroat. And what she's saying that you cannot bring your corporate mentalities or strength into a relationship. When you get into a relationship, I mean, God did this. The Bible said it. The man is the what? The head. The woman is what? The neck. Yes. And we support the head. We support the head. And you're supposed to be, that feminine energy that soothes him and massages his ego, basically. That is what she's saying. Sandra, what do you have to say about this?
I think we have to track back where this comes from and why men, like what he said, when a man finds a strong, independent woman, then it's a problem because he wants her in fantasy. I think we need to track back and see decades on end, societies were dominated by males. There was male supremacy going on there. And I think this nurtured their ego. Their ego. And I would like to say that most men have such a fragile ego. And why is this? Because they have an inflated sense of self-importance.
Yes.
It's an inflated sense of self-importance. And okay, fine, maybe this might root from how they were brought up, and societies on end, they were taught to protect girls and women. So they felt they were strong. And the key word being to control. Now, I think that, fine, male ego is looked at as superior, but I think it alternates between superior and inferior. Because when a woman stands up and does all these things, then they're like, oh, wait a minute, why is she coming at me like that? Because they have this need to control. They find a woman and say, I need to tame her. Some women are not meant to be tamed. They need a partner to run with them just as wild, and then they said, this is my significant other. This independent woman is not looking for a significant other. She's looking for a partner, an equal. She's not looking for a significant other. She's very significant on her own.
But do you think there's ever equality in relationships?
First of all, for us to even start to want to be equal to men is terrible.
Equal is not the same. Being equal doesn't mean you're the same.
Yes.
It doesn't mean so. Like you said, different energies. He has the masculine energy, you're bringing in your feminine energy, and you merge. You're equal, like you're at the same playing field. It doesn't mean you're the same.
Yes.
Many people think equal is the same. No.
Exactly.
And we were not meant to be the same. We are a puzzle that we're supposed to fit into each other.
Yes.
If we are the same, then we're like this. We can't fit. And that's how God intended it.
Well, let me first define for you what feminine energy is before we continue this conversation. So, well, feminine energy refers to a specific set of traits considered to be the opposite traits associated with masculine energy. And your feminine side gets expressed when you move with the flow of life. Embrace the creative energy, dance, play, and just your softness. That is what, feminine energy. And that is the complete opposite of masculine energy, where, men are supposed to be, tough, outspoken, and what. So I wonder, again, you said we have to be on on the same level, you know, playing field in the relationship.
Yes.
But does that even ever work? When, say for instance, if he can pay the rent and you can pay the rent, don't you think that brings in a confusion on who is supposed to do what in a relationship?
You can compromise. If he can pay the rent, run the home. I like to see that the man is he's the CEO,
yes,
and you are the operations manager. Now, nothing goes down in a home without passing through the operations manager, does it? Yes, the CEO will give the direct, or you sit in that meeting, and you allow. But it's, even if the CEO says something and the operations manager does not agree,
yes,
so just say yes, but it's all in the governance.
Yes,
you're going to run the things still, you know. So you're at the same. You don't have to both be CEOs. Now who's going to run the place?
Exactly. And actually to add on to what Sandra has just submitted, I mean, there will always be scenarios in a family or in a home or in a relationship where your feminine side may have to actually appear. And I think that's one thing as women that we forget. We should learn, first of all, to appreciate and embrace the fact that we are female human beings. Like, there will be a time when I have a friend of mine, she keeps saying when they're having issues with her husband, she doesn't blow up. She gets down on her knees. That is her way of fighting. So there are times when you just keep
get down on her knees.
A battle, a connotation.
Oh my God!
No praying. I mean praying.
Oh la la. Okay, thank you for the clarification.
No. I meant get down on her knees.
There are many connotative meanings.
Okay. Can I clarify?
Okay.
I meant get down on her knees and pray.
All right.
So it depends. I mean, there will always be times in your family or relationship or even where you work where you'll have to definitely think like a man. But there will be times when you'll have to act like a lady.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. So it depends on the situation. I mean, you're not going to, yes, I might be able to pay the rent. You might be able to pay the rent. If you want me, I like my man, or I would like a man in my family or my relationship to take charge. Like, take charge and I will be right behind you and support you. Where you need me to come in, I will definitely come in. However, I'm not going to sit back because I do not want to appear as, you know, being very masculine and I let you walk all over me. No, I'm definitely going to speak up for my rights. If you're a wife beater, I might I might not beat you back, but I can't allow you to beat me. Like, those are some of the things I'm talking about. So,
well, you have said something that is very interesting, and I actually have a video that I would like us to watch. I would like you to watch and see. And this is a video by an affluence coach, a feminine coach, an etiquette coach. She's basically a lady who teaches women how to channel the inner femininity and, you know, set boundaries and, you know, call for respect. Well, she's called Anna Bay. I have a video. Take a look and let's deliberate when I get back.
What do you do in your everyday life to earn that respect? Or let's put it like this. Why is the man still not waltzing around your feet treating you like a queen? Let's face it, that's the real life for many, many women out there today. Now let me give you some tough love. You do not know how to demand real respect. We all know that we should be respected, but we don't really know how to truly get it. The answer, however, is very easy. Like, it's ridiculously easy, yet not many women seems to be doing this. I'm talking about boundaries. Setting boundaries. When you set boundaries, you communicate a message that tells the world how you expect to be treated. Most women have weak boundaries because we are brought up, unfortunately, in a society that doesn't teach women how to truly step into our own.
But why?
And then there you have it. So a lot of people are starting, you see, she says set boundaries, but you can use your feminine energy to set those boundaries. You don't have to get loud and assertive and, you know, get into a man's face. And I think actually this works.
Yes.
But if you would like to know more about her, just head on to her social media, and that's on YouTube, Instagram, and also she also has a website. She's Anna Bay. On Instagram, she's at Anna Bay. So find her, ladies. I think this will probably solve a lot of our problems. Because we are tired of being strong and independent. Or am I speaking for myself? Shivan, am I speaking for myself?
I think you are.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, so a lot of naysayers and people who are against feminism are blaming successful women's lack of romance on feminism. Is this true? Do you think feminism is killing?
Yes, I think
so. Is killing it for them?
I think so. I think so because you find these strong, independent women, and they just they just have this hate for men. They feel that the men have been in control for such a long time, like in the corporate world, yeah?
Yes.
So they want to go in, and like a friend of mine was telling me, like, to have a female boss is a problem. I hate having a female boss. It's like they're out there to prove something, you know? And men are not like that.
Yes.
Yeah? So it's like they overcompensate. Yeah?
Yes.
And they have this hatred for men. It's like, I can pay my own bills, I can do this, I can do that. But a relationship is much more than that. It's about connection, it's about respect, yeah? I mean, if you're planning to share a life with someone, you're not going to be talking about bills here and there. So I feel women need to tone down, yeah? Even if you're strong and independent, don't tell him. He will see it.
Yes.
Yeah? Don't be like, oh, I'm here, I'm strong, I'm independent, and then also going to chase men. I don't really subscribe to that. Like, you know, I like this guy, I'm going to tell him, you're going to scare the guy off. Because men are encoded warriors. They tend to have more value for things that they have had to chase. That's innate. That's how they are. Like it or not. So even if you're independent and everything, let him chase you. Give him, you know, give him mileage. Let him chase you.
Yes.
Pretend you're running. Pretend you're meek. Oh my goodness.
You will run and
Yes.
and the
Let him
massage,
chase
do you know
you.
what the massager will do? He will kusidika. Aja kusidika. Like,
No,
you will
no,
run.
no.
You might run and run away into your own movie. Like that. It
No.
depends on the kind. Let me tell you something. It depends on the kind of the relationship that you're in. I mean, I have met men out there. I have read articles of men who have come out to actually say and profess and say they prefer women that take charge. So again, I think it goes back to understanding your partner or the kind of relationship that you're in. As for me, I would like a man that takes charge. But there are women or men out there who like the partners on the other side to be the ones who to take charge. There are men like that.
Well,
so it
it's
really
true,
depends.
Shivan. It is true. Men like women who take charge, but they like them to
Some
take
men.
charge. They like them to take charge when, for example, if he's not there, to make that informed
Yes,
decision.
when he's
not
not
to overstep him.
When he's there.
And when he's there, yes, a man would want a wife who can rise to the occasion and make informed decisions for the family, for the home, for everything. But he does not want her doing it when he's right there. What is he supposed to do?
Don't just be sitting at home and looking all pretty and
Yes,
going to
like,
the spa
you
now
can
and
fall
again.
back, but when you need to rise to the occasion, he needs to know that you can rise to the occasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and the definition of feminism, just in case you're wondering, is the advocacy of women's rights on the ground of the equality of the sexes. And I'm all for women, you know, getting their, you know, their day. They should be allowed to do things, but I do not. When it comes to relationships, I am a very submissive type of woman, and I think that this has worked better for me in relationships where I allowed the man to lead. I can rise to the occasion. I've been single for a very long time in my life, and when you are single, it puts you in a place where you have to be strong and independent and make these informed decisions for you, your kids, and your family, because you're used to doing that. But the thing is that when women like me, or women who are strong and independent and have been, you know, holding it down for a very long time for themselves, but when they get a man to come into their life who wants to take that burden away from them, they have a problem with letting go.
That's true.
And that can cause to self-sabotage in a relationship. I mean, we were talking about self-sabotage yesterday. So he comes into the relationship, he wants to take off, he wants to, you know, release you from the financial burden, but then you're here.
I can pay for it.
I can pay for it myself. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You know what? That is quite true, Sarah. And you know, also men, I think they shoot themselves in the foot with this, because they say, I want a woman who submits. I want a woman who submits. But you have to understand that a woman's submission to you as a man, she submits to your love. She submits to your love. You've heard that saying? You can't tell a man who has money anything, and you also can't tell a woman who is in love anything. So that submission comes, she submits to your love. If you love, and that's why even the Bible says, husbands, love your wives, because that's where the submission comes from.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you love her, if you love a woman, you do not have to tell her twice to do anything. She'll actually do it before you
even
ask
talk
her.
about it.
The submission flows in that way.
So are you saying that women who, strong independent women in relationships who find it very difficult to hand over that power that they have, had for themselves, by taking care of themselves, having to hand over and surrender to a man, is because they are not in love?
And let me tell you this, perfect love drives out all fear.
Yeah.
Perfect love drives out all fear. Love is not fearing.
Yes.
So if you don't feel perfectly loved, then you'll hold on because you're scared, you're vulnerable. You're like, if I give away my heart, is he going to break it? But if you feel loved and you feel comfortable, it will drive out all fear. It will just come naturally.
Oh my God. Yes. So the men who are, I just want to say this, the men who are there saying, oh, she's big-headed, she's strong, she won't let me take care of her. It's because she has not felt your love. And that, I think, is a very important thing where people have to learn to understand people's love languages. Love them in the way that they want to be loved, not in a way that you think
want, or you think
they should be loved. Love them in the way that they
in
want
their
to
language.
be, in their language. And that, I think, when you start to feel loved, by the way,
the walls go down.
Have you ever noticed that you really never hear people saying, I feel loved by my man, or I feel loved by my woman?
Yes,
you only hear that I love him or I love her, but not that I feel loved. And it's a very important question that you have to ask your partner. Do you feel loved?
Do you feel loved by me?
Yes, do you feel loved by me? That is very important. But I want to read another comment that was under the tweet, and it comes from Mackenzie Green, and they say, or she says, why can't we all just be who we are? No one operates in one domain or dynamic all the time. It's about balance and allowing each other to be authentic to who they are. Each person's needs in a relationship is different, and their significant other should be what they lack and be able to add to their existence, whether it's operating in feminine or masculine energy. Both are needed from one another at different times. And by the way, a study did show that women who are in a relationship with men who are feminists or who are in touch with their feminine side are actually in happier relationships.
Yes, Obama.
Yeah.
He's a feminist. Look at him and Michelle.
Look at that. You know, how long have they been married?
Oh my goodness.
Over 10 years, and they're going strong.
I think it's very important actually for a man, or if you're in a relationship with a man that is in touch with their feminine side, it's a plus for you.
Yes.
Because he won't always have to act very macho and act like the big boy. Like when he's going through something, he'll break down and let you know, and you'll talk about it as a couple, and that's okay. However, when you are in a relationship with a man who has stereotyped and doesn't want to be associated with anything called a woman, or even being in touch with his emotional and feminine side, again, it's a whole other turn, because then you will not know if he's sad, you will not know if he's being loved, because these are the men that you will ask. Like you have said, it's very important that you ask your partners these questions. But if you did ask your man this morning that, babe, do you feel loved by me? Most men will probably brush it off and be like, yeah, I feel loved. But a man who is in touch with his emotions will be like, yes, I feel loved. And he will actually go the extra mile to explain it. He will even understand why you go the extra mile to probably call or text him in the morning. For those who are not in touch, then they will say that you're too much. So I think it all goes back to that particular issue.
So let's have a look at some of the responses that came directly to our conversation that we posted on Twitter. And this tweet comes in from Nam Milfat4, and she says, this is why strong, independent women are, find it hard to find love. And she says, because they have money, they are strong and independent, they can get any man they want for pleasure. Love is a by the way. Oh my goodness. They don't see it as something crucial since they get what people in love get.
But do they?
But do they?
I do not think
what
so.
People in love get? Because
money
it
doesn't
sounds
buy
transactional.
love. Yeah.
Love gives you that glow.
Yes.
Love gives you that butterfly feeling.
Yeah.
Love helps you sleep well at night.
Thank you
Like
very
somebody can set your house on fire and you'll be like, it's okay, I'm in love. Like, oh, nice. And next tweet comes in from Hotim Amy, and says, the basic of love in a relationship is supposed to be mutual dependence. But unfortunately, this is something that the so-called strong and independent women knows nothing about or don't want to hear. Our next tweet comes in from Ronnie, and he says, love is something sweet and good. I agree. It needs patience, trust, and above all, respect. At times, such kind of people, put in brackets, women, he's talking to you, he's not going through the corners anymore, fail to differentiate love and what they are and what they are may be at work or even in their countries. So he's basically saying women need to differentiate their roles in the office and at home. At home, be your lover's support system. Don't come and try and boss him around because you're the president of the country. Moving on. Roger says they feel they cannot be under any person, which isn't the case with marriage or family where the man is the head. Ladies, learn to follow. And then a gentleman called Pakwach says, strong and independent women don't find it harder, but it indeed becomes hard if pride and arrogance creeps in. I absolutely agree. You know, when a woman has her own money, you can't tell her anything.
Really?
Yeah?
I don't
A lot of women are like that. Because she makes her own money, that is why I think a lot of men prefer women who are less educated or much younger women. You understand? Because they're able to control these women, and because these women are somehow dependent on them and look up to them. That is what I think. Because there's a time I was dating this guy. When he found out that I was earning more than him, that is when airtime stopped coming. I kid you not. That's when airtime stopped coming. Breakfast at the baby flowers, it stopped coming.
Like, buy them for yourself.
Transport money stopped coming because it's like she can take care of herself. So from that day I learned the lesson. Never to outstage him. Never to outstage a man. It's so sad, but it's a true thing.
But
so,
you see, that's the thing.
In conclusion, Shivan, yeah?
Well, yes, as well. Well, for me, that's the thing. I mean, for very many women, even when, I'm going to speak on behalf of probably the majority or minority, depending. Many women out there, you know, even when they have their money, they still want to be taken care of. Regardless of the fact that I may have my money, I still want my man to show me that I am valued, that he loves me. Like, even if I could afford to buy myself, and I mean, Valentine's is coming, I could choose to go to a florist and tell them, please deliver flowers and make it look like a surprise. However, I would want my man to do that for me, even though I could do it for myself. So for many women, they just love to be taken care of, even when they can afford to take care of themselves.
So this is the thing. In conclusion, ladies, allow to be loved, allow to be taken care of, allow for the man to take the lead, regardless of how much you earn or what your position is at the job and your job. If you want to have a successful relationship, that's the unfortunate truth. And it's also okay to just let somebody else take charge.
Yeah,
let somebody else do it, at least. And if you're strong-minded and this is who you are, just find somebody who is going to, you know, be okay with what it is that you want or how you want to be treated. So get yourself a man who is going to allow you to lead, but don't impose it on a man who wants to take care of you. You know, simple as that. And I hope this year becomes your year where you find love and you're allowed to be loved, most importantly. And that's all we had for you on this segment of Our Views. Keep watching Sunrise at Sea. I hope you had a lovely time with us right here at Sunrise at Sea. Unfortunately, all good day. We'll be back from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. From me and the ladies, have a great day. Be blessed. Don't forget to follow SOPs to the core. Wear your mask, social distance, use a sanitizer, wash your hands. Don't forget to be kind. And if you have somebody you love today, it's National Hugging Day. This day was set aside so that people can be allowed to express emotions. So love the people you love and